All right, welcome to episode 14 of Minechat. My name's Colin Gallagher, and with me, as usual, is Rob Newbury. How you doing, Rob?
Good. How everybody?
It's good to have you here. And this is, well, I don't really know what this world is. We're going to leave it up to our hosts this week, Nick and Shae, to tell us where we are and what they do here. So go ahead.
Well, you're welcome. You're standing outside Merricreek Primary School in Melbourne, in the state of Victoria, in Australia. We're a fairly small inner city school, and basically the primary school kids here are we're sort of engaged in this two-stage process. We're rebuilding the school in Minecraft, and then the next stage of the process will be for the kids to download the school and sort of start doing their own modifications to it. We kind of got this problem that as a school we're boxed in sort of geographically, we're quite small and there's not a lot of room. So one of the things that we're keen to do is give the kids a chance to sort of essentially, well, first build their own school and then rebuild it in whatever way they want, underground, overground. Still got to stay within the same geographical limits, but give them a chance to really sort of unleash whatever it is that they think a school should actually look like.
Great.
So that's been part of the project. So maybe we'll take you on a little tour and you come around and have a look.
Yeah, great. Let's do it.
Yeah. I'm a parent here. Shae's actually a teacher, teaches grade 5 and 6, Shae.
Yeah, hi, howdy, folks.
Yeah.
Hey.
I taught Nick's son when he first started school, and he was, as a 5-year-old, he was a mad Minecraft man, and so that sort of got me thinking about it. But yeah, the push has really been from Nick and his partner Kasha, and they're the ones who are really the driving force behind this, and we're sort of hoping to sort of piggyback on the back of what they're doing and hopefully try and build it into the curriculum a little bit more.
Yeah.
Great. So as it
Let's go.
stands now, so how are you kind of working with it with your students?
Nick's sort of put the shout out to the kids across all age levels, saying you want to come along and help build the school, because lots to be done to get it up and running, and it's just sort of like an opt-in sort of scenario at this stage. And we had a working bee on the weekend where a lot of the kids came on and built some things and did some amazing stuff. And because at the moment I'm teaching the grade 5, 6 kids who are 10, 11 and 12, and we've been doing a little bit of stuff on ratios. So we're going to try and work it in that, because Nick will tell you a little bit about the ratios that they're using to build the school. But just in terms of placement of playground equipment and things that are further away from the actual school buildings, there's a lot of measurement and a lot of tough thinking to go into actually where do these things fit and what are they going to look like.
Right. So in the kind of
Come in and have a look.
yeah, sure. Let's
We're
start
go in the
wandering.
front door. So just going around here. This actually takes you into the very front door. And one of the things you'll see sort of when you come in is that one of the decisions we sort of made early on, I suppose everyone does in this building phase, is what sort of scale do you want to work at?
Right.
And rather than go for the sort of one block 1 meter scale, we actually went for the one block 50 centimeter scale.
Okay.
And that means you can actually get a lot more detail in. But one of the things it does is it makes you very small. And I think the thing that's really struck me is it's a good reminder when you do this thing, especially as an adult, that there are lots of really small people at a primary school, and so lots of times
Yeah.
if you come in and you walk down the corridor, you can sort of see these the reception areas just immediately and on the left. It's a good reminder that for a lot of small people, that's what they see. They have to sort of jump up and down to actually,
Yeah.
to see over the walls and start to see inside, see what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's a although some of the sort of the Minecraft functionality, especially the sort of doors, don't really work as well at this sort of scale. It's actually a good reminder about what it's like to be a small person at school.
Yeah.
I love
As you can
how
see,
I love how Colin, you just freely walked into the principal's office like you owned it. Just go with it.
Yeah, exactly,
That's
Why
what you
not?
do.
I'm used to going to the principal's office.
Yeah.
there's a rumor that the kids have. I actually don't know if it's true or they've just made it up, but that there's a lava pit underneath the principal's office. It's sort of added to the
There's
whole
a trapdoor
mystique of
somewhere. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I have no idea what will happen when we let them rebuild it themselves.
No, exactly.
That the kind of where they'll go with that.
So is your
Um,
school like any time like in the near future? Is there ever going to be like a real kind of add-on to it? Are they looking to expand it, or are they looking to rebuild it at all?
Look, just recently we've had lots of work done in the last couple of years. So this area here where I am now, this used to be the library a few years ago, and with some renovations, it's actually now part of the grade 5-6 area, and the library's just over in this section over here. So the short answer is no, but we can dream.
yeah.
We've got.
This
You'll
is
notice when we get at the back, there's a few portable classrooms. Um, and they've only been there a couple of years as well. So that's sort of something to note.
You can see if you come over to a colonies now and just have a look, this is one of the things when you get the kids on and they're all working away, you see some of them sort of work at that macro level of sort of laying out grounds. Others of them you find sort of working away on this really detailed little work that you can do when you're at this sort of 1 to 50 centimeter scale. And so we came in here the other day in the middle of the working bee, and there was one of them, one of the kids, Plank, who uses Plankcraft as the name, just like she's been building the sort of the electronic whiteboard over here.
Yeah.
And then brilliantly, she's been using these sort of ender chests as a way of replacing lockers, and
Wow.
particularly, you see at primary schools the constant problem of lost property, lost objects that disappear and
Yeah.
clothes and things like that. And it's a lovely idea that would be so much like if only there were ender chests in real life. You would just lose so fewer kind of lunch boxes and school hats.
If only. If
Bags and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a sort of, and we just came in and there she was sort of working away at it. So really lovely that sort of sense of some kids want to work at that big macro picture scale.
Yeah.
Others are much happier, are doing this amazing sort of stuff, just really small. You can sort of see in the little garden in a courtyard too. Somebody's been building up the trellis work over the top of the little courtyard garden, sort of laying out all the flowers and the vines and things like that. It's
Very nice.
like all those things. I suppose it's amazing when they when you sort of let people go. And then you suddenly come and sort of come around the corner and just see these extraordinary things that they're doing.
Yeah. So
As a teacher, it's really great to be able to, because as a Minecrafter, I'm a massive noob really, and be able to come on and connect with my kids, on a Saturday morning and have them come on and just totally outdo me in this world of Minecraft where they have so much knowledge and so much experience, and to be able to learn from your kids it's a really wonderful. It's what you tell them in the classroom, that we're all learners,
right.
and we're all at different stages, and to be able to come on and actually show them that this is a skill you have that as an adult I don't have, because I'm a learner in this world as well. So it's really, for me, it's a really great experience to be able to connect with my kids in a different way.
Yeah.
See, I'm looking at this. The last time I was in this room on the working bee, we tried to mock up. We've got a piano that we play. This is the sort of general purpose room where the school meets, and we had a piano made out of music box, just sort of those simple music boxes. And now I've come in here and found that they're making some sort of phenomenal sort of, looks like some sort of electronic organ or kind of.
Yeah.
It's
sound
Treasure plate.
Yeah. Somebody's just gone and replaced what was a really very basic sort of, just hit it and make a noise thing with a whole lot of redstone. It's really
Like Tom Hanks
incredible.
in Big, is it?
Yeah.
Dancing on the piano.
Yeah.
Very cool. And
Kind
that's
of
the sort of
you
thing you
sort of-
see. Yeah, it's the sort of thing you see from the students. They're just, the creativity is just unlimited. That's what's great about Minecraft.
Yeah, and so we're kind of really excited. This is, you see in the time, but and the outside we've sort of been focusing on the inside so far, but the sense of what it's going to be like. This is the playground area, and what they're going to do out here. It's basically a sort of basketball court, but what it's going to be like when they actually change all that, it's going to be really really exciting.
Yeah, it is. I was just about to say, it's really exciting.
Could you just turn it to day there, Nick, just to
Yeah, just,
shed some light on the matter?
there we go.
So many students are working on it now.
We've got a group of about sort of 20 students who sort of come on at different times, because we're sort of working outside school hours at the moment. There's lots of different people sort of come on at different times.
Right.
So yeah, that's it varies a lot. That's the other kind of interesting thing, of course, is that people see them. They're sort of not quite sure who's who.
Yeah.
Because they all have names. So there's this odd moment where, well, they sort of you see kids introducing themselves to each other, but then they're also much better at actually just you see them interacting in sort of older and younger kids together in quite a different. There's not the sort of the physical cue that you're older and therefore I shouldn't play with you sort of disappears a bit.
Right.
Because they can't see, they see only the skin. And then, of course, it's equally true that some of the younger kids are, incredibly proficient at at doing things and at showing people how to make things, than some of the older kids.
What's this? Does this big picture wall here kind of relate to something in real life?
Yeah, there is actually a big wall that's sort of used to sort of hit up balls against. I think, isn't it, Shae? Doesn't quite have as many skulls on it in real life. In case you're wondering what's happened to the Australian education system, but. It's a big mural wall that sort of is used to sort of make half tennis courts and all those things.
This is totally alien to us in Singapore, having this much space for the kids to play in.
Well, that is the other slightly odd thing is that the upside of having the 1 to 50 scale is that you can put a lot of detail in. Then it actually makes the sort of like if you sort of turn around, Colin, and keep walking backwards, you'll see this is the fence line of the school over here, which we've just sort of marked out. We've got to get it high, but you can kind of see the school sort of disappears into a haze of mist and fog and smoke at that stage. So although we're actually a really very small school, the playground then suddenly seems much bigger unless the people have got their their field of view set properly.
Yeah, far.
We also chose to sort of make it a flat world. I mean, the bit of Melbourne that we're in is actually quite flat, but we thought rather than having to get into a sort of major tunnelling and sort of explosives and flattening, leveling worlds, we thought we'd create a flat world. Although we are right next to it. The school's name is from the Merricreek, Merri Creek, which sort of flows through Melbourne, and the next big sort of engineering task, which I'm sure a lot of the kids will like, is I think we're going to try and sort of create the creek, which will mean sort of dynamiting out the riverbed because it sort of sinks down. There's a bicycle path next to it. So hopefully once we sort of finish the school and the playground, we can then sort of move into a little bit of the local environments, because the creek's a big part of the school gets its name from it. But it's also a big part of how a lot of the kids get to school.
They don't come on the creek.
No, by canoe.
Not quite.
Yeah.
Now you mention it, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, for school with a boat dock.
It's been great to have some of the past students come on as well.
That's awesome.
Like there's primary school is such an important part of kids' lives, and we've had kids who've been gone for 2 or 3 years who were back on, and some of them I'm not even sure how they found out that it was happening, but Nick, you probably got a better idea about that than I do, but it was just really great to see these kids come on and come back to school, and get involved.
Yeah, it's a great way to get the past students involved and keep them, make sure their primary school was reinforced that it was a very important part of their lives. It's a really good way.
Yeah.
So what happens when this is finished then? When this school is all, when you kind of say, okay, that's pretty much, that's cool.
Well, that'll be sort of the halfway stage, because what I think will be really interesting then is we'll let the kids download it,
Mm-hmm.
so they can then sort of say they can then reinstall it in their own on their own computers at home and start modifying it.
Right.
So what I'm hoping we can do at the end is they can all start modifying and make effectively sort of making their own versions of school, and then and this will be a slightly tricky bit, but then I think it'd be great to be able to have a series of walkthroughs with
Yeah, little
them saying,
showcase. Yeah.
this is what I want to do with my school.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, one of the things I'd really like to do is, we're going there. There are new schools being built in Melbourne and all the time because Melbourne's expanding. But to get a few maybe school architects to come in and talk a bit about what is it that you look for in a school. Like where
Yep.
the sort of the basic frame of our school was built in about sort of 1890, and it's been sort of, you can see as you walk through it, there's bits of it that have been sort of pulled apart and remodeled, but it's still there's still a sort of basic structure that's been there for over 100 years.
Yep.
But but what is it that you look for in what do you want when you design new schools? Like, do you want sort of totally modular open space? Do you want, like back in the 1890s, you had sort of fixed rooms all coming off sort of long hallways. What is it that makes for a good sort of learning space?
Yeah.
And I think that'd be quite interesting for the kids to show what they think a school should be. Although I'm sure that'll be a lot of lava pits and creeper rooms and all the teachers turn into zombies.
Yeah.
But what are they? What are they? What would a school architect think if they said, well, here's a chance for you to sort of pull a school apart in Minecraft and build it up and show some kids what you think a school could be like.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting because there's plenty of people who talk about learning spaces, and like some people have built careers around talking, showing off pictures at workshops and conferences on, oh, look at this learning space, isn't this amazing, isn't this interesting, and people tend to, I think a lot of people are really sort of thinking about it now a lot more and saying what does the latest research say, and where's the cave and where's this and that, but I don't know how much. I think that what's the most interesting thing about this project is that it kind of eschews the research and gives students complete control, and they can say, well, this is how we see it, and I wonder how often those voices are actually taken into consideration.
Yeah, like we're in the process
heard a
of
great-
yeah. Go ahead, Nick.
I'd say I heard a great description someone said the other day, and with I don't know how Shae will feel about this, but
No,
someone
go
said,
for
when you think about who are the workers at a school, if you think about a school as like the old analogy that a school is some sort of education factory, but in fact the people who are working at school are the kids. It's their workplace,
Yeah.
and so trying to understand what it is that what the teachers do is incredibly important. But
Sure.
What kids do is shapes it all. Ultimately, it seems to me, and so trying to understand what they think makes for a good space is a really
Absolutely.
interesting
They're
question.
the ones, they're the ones that are, should be putting in the hard yards. And as teachers, if we're putting in the hard yards for them, then we're sort of doing something's amiss. They're the ones that should be, thinking about the big things and trying to nut things out and, learn how to work together with people and problem solve. And, that's not going to happen if you all sit in a straight row and face the front.
Yeah, exactly.
This is getting me thinking a lot because I've been involved in many conversations this year because we're moving to a new campus in a few years, and we've been involved with architects talking, and there's been no meetings with students whatsoever, and yeah, I wonder what they would come up with in Minecraft if we gave them free reign and said, okay, build what you think a school what should look like and what it should have. Stick to real life things too, not lava pits and stuff like that, as you say. But yeah, I'm thinking of maybe having a more free world next year. Like we do an ECA, but I don't know. You're getting me thinking a bit, so I'm not making any sense right now. But because I'm just, you've got me thinking here. It's a good place to start.
It does seem like the irony is that at the same time that when you see sort of infrastructure projects now, there's more and more works put into this sort of visualization on the online graphics and what's it going to look like, and the fly-throughs and all that stuff. That you've got a sort of tool with Minecraft that you can kind of, it's a tool that's not that the kids and the professionals can use at the same time. Now, it's never going to show you the sort of detail you want, and I don't think any government infrastructure project is going to you want to use Minecraft to show the public about what it's going to be like. It does seem that it's getting closer for the kids and the designers to sort of have a sort of common language or a common tool that they can actually use.
Yeah, you see it being used in urban planning projects more and more now, with kids getting involved and reimagining their communities and stuff.
It's authentic.
I think Google SketchUp once in a while, it nearly went there a few years ago, but not as engaging or interactive as Minecraft is.
Well, that's the thing about this is that, and I think that you said it's a tool. It's not a game. It's a tool, and you can populate whatever you've decided to build. So you could conceivably have a couple of hundred people running around in this world and interacting just like a regular school.
Yeah,
it's exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. It's really cool.
Do you know the detail that Nick and Kasha have built into this world is just because I've been coming to this place every day for a long time, and to be able to wander around in the Minecraft version of it is such a buzz, and the kids love it too. Like when they first come on and they're wandering around, they're coming to school the next day talking about how great it was to see their world as their school world in something so close to them as their Minecraft world. I think it's really great and really powerful.
Definitely.
Certainly is. Let's do some weeding for you here.
Yeah, clean up some of this grass.
Exactly. Put up some.
You can hire us if you want.
We've got to add in all the trees, and we've got a few quite old trees, and one of the slight challenges is we had a because we've got old trees, you get big trees. They're old sort of deciduous trees, and so they shed all their leaves, and we're just about to go into sort of winter in Australia. So there's the wet leaves actually get kind of slippery on the concrete, so we have to sweep them all up, and we have sort of parent working bees to come and do that sort of work. That was on the Saturday, and it was a very cold and wet day, not very pleasant. And then we had the virtual working bee on the Sunday, which was, of course, everyone was inside. I did feel a bit bad that the virtual world was a lot more comfortable than the virtual working bee was a lot more comfortable than the real life working bee. So we've got to add these trees and the things.
Simple.
So it's quite interesting too. It's like how you sort of set their kids to do tasks too, because a lot of them do just want to wander around and they want to sort of look at things. And as Shae said, they want to look at their world. We've gone through and we've tried to create this scheme with the pink blocks where you can sort of wander around and either see tasks or see questions that prompt them. Well, it's interesting that you come if you're sort of as an adult, if you're doing something, you come to this point where you think, I don't really know what that looks like. So we've got these sort of blocks where we're asking kids, well, what does this ceiling look like in this room, or how is this space decorated, or does this actually connect through? So they can go and explore, and actually usually they know. Like I wouldn't have remembered about that big wall with the murals on it. But somebody's obviously thought about that.
Yeah.
We loaded up a whole lot of pictures of the school onto Flickr.
Oh yeah.
And some of the Google Earth imagery too, so that people can go back and when they're at home they can actually go and look at some images of and just remind themselves of what it looks like and how things sort of lay out. Yeah. So as Shae said, that's about learning about perspectives and especially with the Google map.
Make sure you send those links to Colin, because he'll maybe Colin, you can add them to the description of the video.
I will. I'm standing in front of the sign now that has the Flickr address. I believe it's the Flickr address. Yeah, it's on the wooden signs at the start of the school.
Yeah.
So here's a technical question for you. Not technical, but why did you choose to have like a bucket server instead of looking into Minecraft EDU?
Well, I tried Bucket for a little bit because I was interested in some of the the anti-griefing sort of functionality that
Yeah.
Bucket seems to have. You know, you can sort of turn off lava flow and fire spread and all those things. I tried to set up the Bucket server, managed to delete the entire world, and so quickly sort of reverse that. So now we're just playing in perfectly plain, pretty much vanilla.
Yeah.
We're using a commercial server.
Uh-huh.
And that's actually been pretty good. We just whitelisted so that the kids can come off. We do actually turn it off though.
Yeah.
So it's not. We're trying to structure it so that people sort of come on for working bees, and then the system's turned. We sort of shut it off, delete the whitelist outside that time. So it's not a totally open world in that sense. And we also just want to keep a track of who's coming in and what their connection, whether they're students or not.
Yeah, sure. Makes sense.
And what do you want to give a shout out to the hosting company? Cause
Yeah, well, I mean, it's actually an Australian mob called Wombat Servers,
Wombat
and
Servers.
they've been fantastic. It's about $30 a month for Australian, and that gets you. I mean, that gives you enough capacity to have 25 kids. And I'd have to say, as a bit of a server noob, they were been just the tech support's just been excellent.
Really helpful. That's good.
Well, it's sort of. I mean, I'm not a tech person, and so they were happy to sort of set it up and set up the world and set up the flat, do the sort of the little all that tweaking of the server instructions to get a totally flat world with no zombies.
Yeah.
No monsters spawning and all that stuff. So yeah, really, I can endorse them wholeheartedly.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, it's been. The other nice thing, the other day was we had all the kids and we finished up with a sort of group photo outside the front of the school, actually on the street, and that's a really nice moment too, where you sort of see. What I'm really hoping sooner or later, what we'll be able to do is get a combined image of. So we'll have the photo of all the avatars outside the virtual school, and then the same photo of the actual real people standing in front of the real school, or sort of combinations thereof. Just because I think it'll be a nice
that'll be fun.
a nice playful
I
sense of what it's
tried
like.
to do that with my CCA. It didn't work at all. The kids were just like, they all wanted to face the other way and bend over and show their asses to the camera and stuff. It was hilarious. Yeah, so. Not in real life. I mean, in Minecraft. Sorry. Jeez. Better qualify that. I actually go to. I work at a great school. The kids are awesome. So I just want to. I need to say that too.
You're fired.
The roads outside are another sort of example of where the scale goes strange. Because the roads suddenly become very large indeed.
Yeah, it's like a runway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
planes landing.
And I had this very strange interaction. I was building it with one of the kids, and we were sort of it's like sort of road gang. He was digging the holes, and then he would dig 2 holes. I would put 2 bits of white wool in there as the sort of thing. But that's of course what roads look like when if you're 6 or 7, roads are really big.
They're pretty big.
Yeah.
They're really big things, and it's again the roads and the sort of the window and door height. I reckon it's a really good reminder that the world to small people looks really, really different.
Good point. So what's
You're over
Julio's
in the-
then? Have you got a nice place beside your school where you can go for coffee and stuff?
Yeah,
this
I'd say probably.
This is
Second
Julio.
most
This is
important.
it's like our lifeline.
Yeah.
And it's a massive part of like the staff are always there grabbing coffee, but it's a massive part of the kids' lives too, because they often get hot chocolates and hang out at Julio before school, or it's great.
That's nice to have a place so close.
It's funny that of all the other buildings, there's lots of other buildings, we're surrounded, although we haven't built them, we're surrounded by kind of, residential, it's a quiet residential street. There's a big block of flats to sort of the, just behind the welcome jobs sign. But it was Julio's that got built
That
first.
made it,
just
yeah.
sort of the coffee
Made the
shop,
cut.
It's a pivotal part of their world.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're back to where we
So, Nick-
started here. Do you want to wrap it up, Nick or Shae, or do you want to
You wrap it up, Nick.
go ahead, Nick?
You're the man.
Oh, it's been lovely having you in our world.
Yeah, it's been great to be
it's been
here.
really- it's been such a lot of fun, and that's what I kind of one of the great things about using this commercial server mob is it just got us really quickly to the point where we got into the fun of actually building it and involving the kids as quickly as possible, and that's just been great. And so we've got another working bee coming up this weekend, and to be honest, I'm so looking forward to it, just because I'm so looking forward to coming around the corner of a room and just seeing some amazing view from some small person about what they've actually, what the room looks like, and whether it's more ender chest lockers or kind of more pictures on the walls of sort of skulls, heads, and things like that. I'm just so excited, and then the idea that we're going to send this out to them, and then they're all going to go off and do exactly what they want, and then come back and show us. I just think it's going to be great. So
it's
been
exciting.
a ball.
It's a great little project you've got going on, and we'll definitely come back to you. When does the school year finish in Australia?
We're about halfway through now, so December all wraps up in December.
December.
So we should have completed the great creek laying, and there's a big bridge we've got to build over, and then someone's got to work out how we've got trams in Melbourne, so someone's going to have to think about that. There's sort of a giant tram sort of hurtling across a bridge behind Merri Primary.
Well, we'll definitely come back and visit you then for
I'd love to.
a
That'd be great.
return.
Yeah.
You've got me thinking about my use of Minecraft next year too, so thanks for that.
Yeah, it's been great having you guys wandering around and checking out what the kids have been doing. So thanks for coming on.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, so that's the end of episode 14, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. We're waving. See ya. Bye.